These videos went viral for a very disturbing reason. They capture moments when unknown individuals attempt to break into other people's homes. In one of the clips, a criminal tried to pick the lock of a hotel room using a bent wire and a magnet. He didn't know that there was someone in the room at the time. Hearing the commotion, the guest immediately opened the door and shouted, scaring off the intruder who still managed to escape. But things become even more frightening when something supernatural gets mixed into such situations. For example, one girl claims that someone broke into her house and is trying to enter her room. The creature behind the door was calling her in her mother's voice.
Gabe? Gabe? It's your mom. You should come out. You've been there for so long.
But just a minute earlier, the girl had been talking to her mom on the phone and knew for sure that she couldn't be at home. Check this out. An adult hippo weighs between 1.5 to 2 tons, and when these giants charge into a fight, it's literally like 2 living battering rams. In those moments, they're driven by primal aggression. All their attention is focused solely on their opponent, and they don't notice anything around them. Everything is at risk. Trees, and even this house from which the footage is being shot. If the hippos had taken a slightly wider turn and crashed into the building, this part of the wall would have been completely destroyed. The video really lets you feel that crushing power, and when they open their mouths to reveal those massive tusks, it becomes clear why hippos are considered some of the most dangerous creatures on the planet. Every year, they cause much more harm to people than lions or bears do. This video clearly shows just how uncontrollable their power really is. This guy claims that he's a real vampire, and it seems like he's not joking. He shows his fangs and they look very realistic, and when he's hungry his eyes turn red. But the scariest part is that according to him, his whole family are vampires. He calls his brother and he appears in a split second. He has fangs too. Then things start to get even stranger. He starts a stopwatch and shows how he can run at inhuman speed. Followers demand, let him show the whole family, and the guy does just that. As you might guess, every member of the family has fangs. And the most viral video on his channel is the one where he takes an apple, shows that it's clean, bares his fangs, bites it, and 2 perfectly even holes are left on the apple. In the comments, people say it's a filter or editing, but he replies, if it's a filter, how are we doing all this at the same time with the whole family? And then his brother appears in the frame again. And here a question arises. What if this isn't just a show? What if vampires really do live among us and they're no longer hiding? When this guy decided to climb down into the abandoned telescope, he had no idea he'd soon regret it. At first, everything seemed simple. He was slowly and carefully sliding down, and for the first few seconds, he even thought it was a good idea. But then he realized he'd made a mistake. Inside, the telescope turned out to be anything but a straight and simple tunnel. There were really narrow sections, sloped areas, and small labyrinths that led him deeper and deeper. And at some point, the scariest thought hit him. He no longer knew how to get back up. It wasn't completely dark inside, but everything was covered in dust and grime, and looked abandoned. It was genuinely terrifying. He tried to find a way out, but the more he moved, the more disoriented he became. In the end, he had no choice left. He had to stay inside and spend the whole night there, cause he never found the exit. He sat among the cold metal and dirt, hearing every rustle and jumping at every sound. It was not until the following morning that he eventually discovered the correct path forward and managed to successfully make his escape. Did you know that, according to rumors, the Japanese government sealed off a tunnel to protect people from whatever might be on the other side? This is the Inunaki Tunnel, one of the creepiest and most mysterious places in the country. Legend has it that at the very end of the tunnel there's an abandoned village with a dark past, and everyone who tried to get there disappeared without a trace. But why does almost no one talk about it? Rumor has it that once you cross the threshold of the tunnel, you're no longer protected by the laws of Japan. There, other unknown rules apply. And also, as soon as you approach the tunnel, your phone loses signal, as if something is deliberately jamming the connection. If you search for Inunaki Tunnel on TikTok, you'll find dozens of videos, and some of them are truly spine-chilling. And what do you think? Is this just an urban legend, or is the Japanese government really hiding what's on the other side?